Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouse.boone.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make a sourdough long fermented pumpkin roll. It's been a long time since I've done one of these recipe videos. Most of my recipes have been in my what we eat in a week videos, but this is something that I've really been thinking about lately because I love pumpkin rolls. I think they're delicious, but I wanted a long fermented option. If you're brand new to my channel and you don't yet know why I do this and what the benefits are for the grains, you can visit my sourdough playlist. I'll leave a link down in the description box below. In the first video of the playlist, I talk about sourdough, how to make a starter, what the benefits are. Honestly, after what we've just been through in our country, you might probably already know what sourdough is. To make this and to reap the benefits of long fermentation, the night before, so last night, I got going in a bowl 1 cup of flour, a half a cup of sourdough starter, a half a cup of maple syrup, and a half a cup of pureed pumpkin. You can let it sit for 8 hours up to 24. It's now the afternoon, so this has probably been going at least 12, a little longer than that. Now I'm gonna get the rest of the ingredients in here. So I'm gonna add in another half cup of sugar for an all-natural version. You can either leave this out because it does already have the sweetness of the maple syrup, but it won't be as sweet as you're probably used to with pumpkin rolls, or you could use rapadura or sucanat. Okay, next I'm gonna add 3 eggs, 3 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. You could also just use cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and ginger. I oftentimes, if a recipe calls for pumpkin pie spice, I don't have it, I'll just throw in a whole bunch of cinnamon and then a dash of the other ones, whatever you have. You don't have to have all of them for it to taste good. It would taste good with just cinnamon as well. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All right, the last thing to add in for the rising power is baking soda. I usually like to first incorporate all of the rest of the ingredients. It's a little bit trickier with sourdough long fermented recipes because in a normal recipe, you would mix the baking soda and the flour and all the dry ingredients, and then in a separate bowl you would cream the eggs and the pumpkin so that everything incorporates better. It's definitely a little bit more tricky, and I know some people will dissolve their baking soda in just a tiny bit of hot water. That's an option as well, so that way you don't have clumps of baking soda. A lot of times I'll just take my fingers and kind of break it up as I'm pouring it in so I don't get any large clumps. You'll notice after you add the baking soda that since the sourdough has had a long time to ferment, the baking soda will cause a reaction and it'll get really bubbly and frothy. That's one of my favorite things to look for to check how active my starter is. You could also use a mixer, a stand mixer for this, or a hand mixer. That would be a really good idea as well. You could soak your sourdough overnight in your stand mixer bowl, and that would create less dishes. I am going to make my cream cheese filling in my stand mixer. All right, it's time to add the baking soda. I'm going to use a sheet pan. This will help the cake to be thin enough so that you can roll it up with the topping. You also want to add some parchment paper. This just helps it to remove really easily, and you can roll it. I like to push it into the corners so that I can fill up the cake batter throughout the whole pan. It should be bubbly and frothy at this point. And then just pop it into a 375-degree oven for about 15 minutes. The tip for making pumpkin rolls not crack whenever you go to roll them up is to roll them as soon as they come out of the oven, just in the parchment paper, and allow them to cool rolled. After that, you can unroll it, add the cream cheese filling, roll it back up, slice, and serve. Make sure to head over to farmhouseonboone.com for the full printable recipe so that you can print it off and save it and make all season long. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're brand new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living, and a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.